Hi there, it's Rachel from scrappinandhappy.blogspot.com with card number 4 from my Vintage Girly Scrappy series. So please join me to see how to make this particular card. The card that we're making is an A2 size card, and it's going to be landscape today, and I'm just using plain white cardstock for the base. And again, because I'm going for the vintage shabby chic look, I'm going to use my distresser to distress the edges of my card. Okay, there we go. Then the next piece is a piece of black cardstock that measures slightly smaller than I think it's 1/16 less than a regular A2 size card. And I'm just going to distress the edges. Okay, so that's all ready to go. Then the pattern paper that I'm using today is from a Michael's Recollections paper pack stack, and it's very thin paper, so it's not thick cardstock. So you have to be really careful when you're distressing the paper to get it to have a distressed look. So just bend some of the edges, curl some of the edges up, just trying to get it to look as shabby chic as possible. There you go. Okay, then this is a doily. This doily is a package of 60 from the dollar store that I got for $1. I know you can buy them at the scrapbooking store as well. And that's going to be the base of our card. The next part is I'm going to use tulle and my glue gun to give a lacy finish like this. I didn't sew, I just did some gluing. So I am going to start off a little slow so you can see what I did, and I'm going to keep this running, but I'm going to speed it up so you don't have to watch that whole painstaking process of how to do that card. So before I do that, I want to glue down my pattern paper to the black paper. Okay, and then I'm going to take the tulle. Now the tulle is one of those rolls from the wedding section that I cut about 16 inches long, but then it's way too wide, so then I cut that in half, and then this gets folded in half to have the look of lace. So I'm using my glue gun, and I'm just loving this glue gun ever since I made this stand for it. My Autumn Sunset, I also have a link to my blog, was the person a YouTuber that showed and demoed how to make a stand. And ever since I started using this, I am loving the stand. It's just, glue doesn't ooze up all over the place, and it's worth the time to make it. And the best part of all is I just made it out of cereal box cardboard. So it didn't cost me anything but my time and my creativity, which is never a bad thing. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue down to get us started. Okay, and then you want to make sure, I don't know if this is going to be picked up in the camera because the tulle is so fine is you want to make this so that it looks gathered. So you're going to put another dot there, and then I just use my tweezers, and then I use my tweezers to hold the tool down while the glue dries, and I'm just using my glue gun so that I get a nice even coverage to it, and that I don't get my fingers burned from the glue gun. So again, I'm going to put a dot here. Okay, so you can see that the fringe is all done, and you can see a bit of the glue gun mark. Just a little tip, I forgot to do it on this side, is I just fold it over, and so that it has a nice, neat finished image. Now to hide the glue gun, I have this sheer ribbon just from Michaels, and I'm going to use the cheater method to tape this down. So just line it up here, and I'm going to use tape to tape it. Okay, oops. There we go. And then for the bow, which is going to be tied over on this side, just a small little piece. That you can tie like that. Then this stamped image is a new vintage stamp from Hampton Arts. I think it's called Vintage Ladies. There's 3 ladies and 3 heads on it, and because this was actually one item that I bought once I started this series when I was at Michael's, just because I had a gift card, so I figured it didn't count because it wasn't money from my own stash, crafting stash, and I thought it would be neat just to have some of these to build my vintage cards. So I am going to pop dot that up. Now this was stamped on a cutout from the Elegant Edges. As I have said in my previous videos, that's become my new favorite cartridge for background images. And I stamped it on there. And the stamps from Hampton Art are cling stamps. So they're rubber stamps, but you can see exactly where you're stamping. Then I colored her with my Copic marker, skin color, and then I just use Bic markers for the dress. And then I'm going to just put that down there to center it. And then just for a interesting look for the jewelry, actually because that goes over the lace a little bit, I'm going to glue gun that down. Okay, and then the next thing is to add a little flower just to the side here. Stick that down. And this card isn't going to have a sentiment on it because I wanted it to be used for multiple purposes. And we're going to put a little gem in the center. And then, as I was saying, just to bling it up the back, I'm going to take some stickles and just run over, it's sort of a necklace back, and then she has a bling ring on there. Hopefully my head didn't get in that shot as I was doing that. So you can just see that stickled the necklace and the bling ring and then the gem there. And I shouldn't have done that before I, darn it, before I glued the card down. So I'm going to have to do it this way. Okay, So there is my completed card using the Cricut cartridge, elegant edges just for the cutout, and the rest is just items from my stash. Thank you so much for joining me for episode number 4. I have one card left in the series that I'm going to show you, and then it's time to make the box to put them all in. Take care. Have a great day.